What's going on, everyone? Welcome on into Falcons Today. I want to open up today's show by talking about a trade idea that I came across involving maybe a fan favorite, a former Georgia Bulldog, Azeez Ojulari, who was listed as a potential trade candidate going into NFL Week 4 by Bleacher Report. And the folks at Bleacher Report listed the Falcons as a potential suitor. So, let's discuss the possibility of Atlanta pursuing Ojulari, since we have already seen that Terry Fontenot is willing to wheel and deal. He made a trade for Matthew Judon before the start of the season, and if he is not liking what the Falcons pass rush has done so far, maybe he won't stop there. My motto, never say no to edge rushers if you're the Atlanta Falcons. I don't care who he is, how good he is, how bad he is. We're going to discuss every single possible target for the Falcons at this position group because the Falcons are cursed when it comes to pass rushers. So leave no stone unturned. So let's dial back and talk about Ojulari, who I don't think the numbers have done him justice through the first couple of games of the season. I think he's actually put together some really nice plays. 2.5 sacks a year ago, 5.5 in 2022. Has he lived up to second round potential? Probably not, but I still think he is worth looking into. Plus, when you have 3 sacks through 3 weeks, you really can't be too picky, right? And when you rank 31st in just pressures and you're hanging out with the Panthers, you should really be doing some soul searching and reflecting. And the Falcons pass rush has just been that bad. So Azeez Ojulari, in my eyes, is well worth some time to discuss. In reality, though, I do think we should probably give this defense a little bit more time to prove themselves. Like by week 4, I'm not pounding the table Dwight Schrute at that press con or at the paper salesman conference to say we need Ojulari yesterday. I'm willing to kind of give Judon, Jarrett, Onyemata, some of those leaders up front, a little bit more time to create pressure, create havoc. DC, Jimmy Lake to dial up the right plays, push the right buttons. But we are on a path to, the Falcons should be trading for an edge rusher. What's new? Water is wet, and Atlanta needs help getting after the quarterback. So the pinned comment on today's episode, before we get any further and give you kind of more of my insight on this, should the Falcons add an edge rusher? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Scroll on down. YouTube likes to put ad breaks around here. If she does, just let the ad roll and give me your response in the pinned comment. Now, one thing that I think is worth looking into is the lack of production from a couple of day 2 draft picks as of late, Arnold Ebiketie and Zach Harrison. How many of you, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, laughed at me when I said, I don't think this is a good enough unit and they need to go add more guys? And you guys all told me, no. You're being too harsh on Harrison. You're being too harsh on Ebiketie. They'll be just fine. They don't need Bud Dupree. They don't need Calais Campbell. Well, here we are 3 weeks into the season, and Harrison can hardly get on the field. He's played 39 snaps through 3 games. We're talking about averaging about 12 to 13 snaps a game. Ebiketie, a little bit better. But still, Lorenzo Carter stole his job. We all thought he would be a front runner to start opposite of Judon. Instead, it's been Lorenzo Carter, who really hasn't been all that good. So the fact that Ebiketie can't even dethrone a guy who has created 0 pressure so far, 0 sacks through 3 games, we have some problems here. So the Falcons, and this is why I'm definitely open to adding Ojulari, but just talking about their defense in general, I've been extremely reliant on some of their veteran players. Just look at the snaps so far. Grady Jarrett, Onyemata. Those are your top 2 leading defensive tackles, as they should be. But look a little bit closer beyond that. Lorenzo Carter, James Smith-Williams, Eddie Goldman, Arnold Ebiketie. Are you guys noticing anything? How about this? Are you noticing who's not on this list? I don't see Rook Ororo. I don't see Brandon Dorless. I don't see a single rookie other than JT Bertrand, who is the entire representation of the Atlanta Falcons rookie draft class with all of 1 snap. He's the only Falcons rookie to take a single snap on offense or defense. I mean, it's early, so I'm not going to panic too much. But yeah, I am a little concerned, as you should be as well. Eddie Goldman, Taquan Graham, those are some old cats right there. Not that they don't deserve to be on the field, but the fact that they aren't even lighting the world on fire and these rookies can't even put on a jersey on Sundays because they're all healthy scratches. Yeah, that's a decent concern for me right there. So to kind of put a bow on the Ojulari section here, should they make a trade? They're trending towards that direction. I don't think they need to do it now. I don't think the Giants are interested in doing it now. I don't think you're going to see many trades go down this far from the trade deadline. But as we get closer and closer to that November 5th deadline, if the pass rushing woes do not go away and they do not find a solution to that problem, they should probably be looking external to a guy like Ojulari. Now, I want to just kind of end today's video with some news items and some injury news as well. For starters, these helmets fuck. I love the throwback unis that are going to be coming out on Sunday to play. So get ready for that. Get ready for some awesome, sweet drip because look good, feel good, play good. Coach Travis, my freshman football coach, told me that. I did not play well, but I did look good, but it definitely helped. So if you like the throwback uniforms, the throwback helmets and whatnot, the throwback logo, hit that thumbs up button. Let's have this be one of our most liked videos of the week. Some injury news here. I'm filming this right now during our live show on Thursday, so injury news are always a bit of a fluid subject. Kaleb McGary did not practice. Jake Matthews did not practice, but it's for a very good reason. He was with his wife as they are expecting the birth of their second child, so congratulations to the Matthews family for growing. Bijan Robinson was limited in practice with a shoulder injury. So as we look at the Saints injury report next, Bijan limited with a shoulder injury. It's early. I'm not sure if that's something he picked up from all the blitzes he's been blocking. Maybe it's something that happened in practice, but definitely something to monitor when you're starting running back. Somewhat unexpectedly pops up on the injury report after not being on there to open up the week on Wednesday. Before we look at that Saints injury report, which is much longer than Atlanta's, speaking of Atlanta, if you want to get this awesome hoodie, 25% off, don't wait right now because when you go to chatsports.com/ATL hoodie, you can get this sweet, awesome hoodie on 25% off on sale. But if you do wait, there's a good chance that by the time it starts to get cold outside and you reconsider that you want some new Falcons gear and some warm weather gear in your closet, that sale is going to be gone and you're going to be paying much more than you have to if you get it today. So I put this link in the comments and description of today's video. Go check it out, chatsports.com/ATL hoodie. Who's ready for a long injury report? So these are just guys that are on the injury report. I think it's also a good time to remind you guys how injury reports work. With the NFL getting in bed so much with gambling, it is paramount that teams are honest and truthful about the injury report because there are a lot of people betting on these games. And if the Saints don't report that Derek Carr is dealing with a left groin injury and then he is banged up on Sunday before the game starts, well, there are going to be a lot of people that are very upset that they did not make a fair bet without knowing the entire piece of information. But some names to note for sure. Alontae Taylor on Wednesday did not practice with an illness. Demario Davis did not practice on Wednesday with a hamstring injury. And you've got Alvin Kamara, who was limited on Thursday after not practicing Wednesday with a hip and ribs injury. So both starting running backs limited at the moment. I'm not going to speculate on which one is worse than the other. I would think if you're dealing with a hip and a rib injury, it probably hurts a little bit more. And every single time you take a big hit, just kind of think about it. Your ribs are what's protecting your lungs. And if you ever had rib injury or every time you breathe, it hurts. Imagine every time you get hit, how much that would hurt as well. So that's definitely something to watch for. But yeah, the Saints definitely come into this game a lot more banged up than Atlanta. Before we get on out of here, I do want to show some love to the Dirty Birds Club for their Very generous support of the channel. If you want to get added to the club, $100 super chat if you're able to during our watch parties, and we'll toss your name on screen for shout outs all year long, like Jose Santana, Ken Ballard, Trey1222, Jason Lindino, Reese Atkins, Archangel, Angry Liquid, and Jeebus H. Christ, along with Dictator JC. I appreciate everyone for taking time out of their day to come watch our content. If you enjoyed it, I don't want to be too needy right now. Of course, subscribe, like, but if you're still watching, I got to envision that you somewhat like me. Otherwise, you probably would have left a long time ago, or at least like the content. So do me a favor, scroll on down. Just comment any emoji. That way I can kind of deduce who the end of the video crew is.